Yes, 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 yes. Yes. So I'm just asking in terms of the delivery, like what were the possible challenges you? Mm. Oh, okay. Say that again. You were able to do what? Mm. Okay. Okay. But was this what you were able to come up with? Because if I check here, um, yeah, we have five signs you need a social media manager. Mm. Um, so far, I think what will happen is that we need a physical class for this. So far, like judging from you guys, this thing, I think that's what we'll do. Yeah. You said? Say that again. Yeah, it's a matter of making out time for it now. But though this Sunday we're supposed to have a meeting, but my team members are yet to get back to me if they will be coming. So it'll be very nice to but no. But tomorrow it's already tomorrow. I think we can plan for next week so that we give people time to prepare for it. I don't know if you get give people time to plan for it for the second service. I think that's what we do because judging from so far, right, the feedback and everything, I was thinking it's something that once I give people the material, you'll be able to like get your hands on it. But so far, no, that hasn't worked. Mm. See, I've learned one thing with all of this is just give. Don't. No, I'm not because it's something that I remove my mind from. Like I really, it's something that I want to do. Right? It's something that I really want to do. So yes, and also understand that yes, I've come to get understand this. There is usually that conflict of oh I want to do this thing. Many of you people are like you all have other things. People they have babies, they are nursing, they have their business. So all of that put together. Now the class now judging from all of this now like what you just said now you just confirm something. Um Paula is coming. Yeah, Paula is here. Hello Paula. Hello Paula. Can you hear? Yeah, good evening. Yeah, no problem. I was just saying something that I was just judging so far from all your feedback, responses, and what Dami, when I asked her her feedback, right? Like how doing the assignment, what was her experience like? She said copying and pasting was a bit challenging. And that's like the least of all challenges I would have expected. So, but the bottom line is that so far, judging with all the feedback and people's response, physical class is extremely needed. You know, before I was thinking that once I'm able to just give people the material, right, the major thing is just to give people the material. Doing all this hand-on, follow through won't need really be necessary. But so far, I think we need a physical class. We need. It doesn't have to be something grand because, to be honest with you, one of the challenge we have is since we don't have our place, right? The TCM Maryland, our center there, our center gone. For us to use that place, we need to power it, get some. So it's usually not. Then the other option is to go and rent a space. The last time I checked, the price was like so. But I thought of it. It's something that we can after service, right? Even if it's just like 30 minutes, right? Even if it's just like 30 minutes for me to just brush for all these things that I've been teaching, say for me to just quickly do a hands on and also okay, say you people try it, right? And I watch you try it, right? To do what I've done. Then there will be an immediate feedback, right? Question and all of that. So that's what we're just talking about, Paula, before you came in. So we are looking at next Sunday, after this Sunday, after tomorrow, next Sunday. So is that feasible for you, Paula and Dami? Is that feasible for you people? Before we now put it open to the WhatsApp group.
Sorry, Chidunma, can you take the first out again?
Yeah, I was saying that having a physical class so far from you guys' response, having a physical class is almost mandatory. I think that's the thing. That's what we need to do now. Having a physical class, right? So we're not saying yes. The best method would have been to use our space, but right now our space is not yet equipped for that. The second option is to rent a training center, right? Now, that one is kind
Okay.
of capital intensive to do that for now.
Yeah.
But there's a third option of like immediately after service, right? We can just use one of those desks, right? That's usually provided in TCM Maryland mall there, right? In the mall there.
Okay.
So just a quick touch of what you've been just a quick touch and also I was thinking okay maybe just a quick touch but the most important thing is that let me watch you guys try to do the assignment. Let me see, right? If you're having any challenge. Okay, so far, okay, do the assignment. Let me see you. Let me see you. Let me see, watch you guys do the assignment. If you have any challenge, right, you can quickly just call my attention. Now, why is this not clicking? Why? Do you understand? So we'll go through all of that.
Yeah.
So now I'm now want to. That's the plan I have. I've yes saying it to you now. The most important thing is your availability. Will you be available for that? Is that feasible? Second after second service, the next that will be on the hello Yani. You're welcome. That will be on the that will be on the second of right? Yeah, that will be second of April. Second of April. So did you just get it now, Paula? Did you get what I was trying to
Yes,
say?
it sounds like a plan that honestly, physical class, I'm all for that.
Mm.
So maybe we'll try to work towards being available for that particular session. I know
Mm.
that usually I come for first and second service because my husband is in safety. Obviously, he does both services and then I'm in children's shop.
Mm.
Usually do both services. So we work for me. So I hope it can work for others.
Okay. So Ihani, can you hear me? Ihani Chukwu.
Yes, do it well.
Yeah, good evening. So far, right, I was saying what I was trying to say is the need for a physical class. Before, I was thinking, it's something very optional, right? It's not really a must. But so far, judging from you people's response and you people's, the experience, what the experience has been so far, having a physical class is like is almost important, right? So the option we have now is just that like a quick 30 minutes contact time immediately after second service. So we are looking at the upper Sunday because I don't want to say this Sunday now because I'm sure many of you people that would be too impromptu to call this. That's tomorrow. It will be kind of too impromptu to call tomorrow. Huh?
So compulsory after tomorrow the next Sunday.
Yes, yes, that's on the second, I think. Yes, second. Yeah, on the second. Second of April. Yeah, second of April.
Yeah, it's fine by me. I think physical class is very important.
Mm.
But somebody like me, I don't really struggle with doing some things that do.
Mm. Okay,
So yes,
okay.
I accept the physical class. But I don't know if you say immediately after second service, my experience has been after second service, everybody's kind of leaving early and all of that because the cinema wants to use the hall and all of that. So
Mm.
how do we manage that?
No, they I think we have we're not staying inside the hall. We stay like those corners.
Okay.
Yeah, there are two options. And there's the corners in that those what's it called that those making use of those Coca Cola desk right
Yes,
there.
I think.
Then
So that means we have to come with an laptop, right?
yes, 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 yeah, definitely. The most important thing though is not that I'm trying to teach from start again. I'm trying to okay, so far the assignment I've given based on the knowledge you have, I try to do. Let me see you do it. Oh, you now say I'm having challenge here. Okay, this is how to overcome this. So yeah, continue. Let me watch you. Let me watch
Oh,
you
no, it's
do
fine.
it.
It's fine. I
Hmm?
think.
It's not like I'm trying to teach from start from this thing again. So you
No
need to come
problem.
with your
It's fine
laptop.
by me.
Okay. Okay. Dami, how far with you?
It's okay.
Okay, okay. Okay, I will do that. Yes, then later we'll announce that in the general group, in the WhatsApp group. But interesting enough, I wanted to go off with another things today. But the fact that you people didn't submit the last assignment, I'm like, is there any need to continue with this? Is there, he said,
Can I ask,
say something.
can I suggest something?
Please do.
Maybe you should do like a vision and a classes and
Okay.
so that we can, because like you said, most of us are struggling to submit the assignment. So maybe we can just like take 30 minutes out of today's session, do a quick
Mm.
recap of what we've done so far. So that
Mm.
we can at least refresh our memory and get our hands.
Okay. Okay, Paula. Yeah, you raise your hand.
Okay, so I think I got something in my folder, just one. I don't know if you saw it.
Okay. As of today, when I checked, the last time I checked today, I didn't swear you. As of
Something went wrong.
as of the last time I checked,
Or is
you
it
see, you can see now. This is your folder now, Paula. Can you see my screen? Okay, let me refresh. Let me see. You see the same thing now. Yes.
okay.
Or you try some.
Let me try and check it.
Okay. Or maybe you can send it on WhatsApp. You can just drop it in the WhatsApp group there, then I'll from there bring it inside. Okay. Okay. So do you guys go like do we agree with him? Maybe we should do just an overview of what we've done so far. Because for me there's no essence of like if you watch the material, like if you watch the class material that's submitted, you can see we are meant to start moving into image and getting image into Photoshop, cropping and all of that. And to a large extent it starts, how this thing does, it start building. And there's no sense, there's no it really makes no sense for me to start building when the fundamental ones, when the initial ones, you guys haven't really grasp that. Yeah, yeah, Dami, yeah, let's hear you.
Okay, you know that for me,
Mm,
that's the idea about recording each class session. In
mm,
as much as each of the class sessions you held were recorded,
mm,
once you go through the recording, there's no way you not get what you are teaching. Do you understand what I'm saying?
mm,
So somebody that has not been available, if the person will follow the okay, like for some for the someone like me now, what I normally video and the Photoshop. Any step you take the video, I will pause, I will go back to the Photoshop, take the step, and that's how I learn.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Mm.
So anyone that will take time to video, I don't think because that would not make any difference from looking at the video and you remembering it. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get it.
Because they will learn it now. Not saying you shouldn't touch it because it's hard to learn it now. This will be the first time and it's going to be more like personal learning more.
Yeah. There is that, but there's also the sense of, at least let you guys see. But you see why before, right? Before, I think you see why I'm not so much. I think my major focus is not so much, oh, let me finish the course, but the fact that even if it's one person that gets this thing, do you understand? That's where I am right now, and also the fact that, okay, we it's more of like we are turning this into more of like a community group rather than just a class. So I think I have the patience to just be patient with you guys. So if it's that's to answer the question of, oh, if you guys are wearing me out or not. But I think for some extent, I think I have that patience to just, yes, and also I've come to also realize that, there are some things that maybe due to I've been learning this thing, right, for I think 2017 when I like really took it seriously. There are things that once I go to you, that's something I keep to realize. Like once I go to YouTube, as I'm learning it, right, I would think it should be as easy for every other person. But so far, I've been realizing that no, this thing is not quite that, straightforward for every other person. So as such, they need to now be patient, really, really to be patient. So I don't know if that answers your
Yes, it does, yes.
yeah, like I'm up for be patient with you guys, even if it's one person, hopefully. Yeah. So it's a two-way listening. Ihan is suggesting maybe we go back, do a recap. Then Dami, you are suggesting,
No, you can go back.
okay, okay, okay. Let me open my Photoshop. You know what? This was the last thing we treated the last time, right? Based on that, what's it called? The content calendar that we're using. And this is the first one. But I realized that I think who was asking me, even here, was asking me opening Photoshop. These are some of the things I feel once you watch online, right? Once you go online, you should be able to like get the hang of it. But all the judging from your feedback, I shouldn't be assuming that these are straightforward things. So for instance, now I want to close this Photoshop, like really, really close, then start from scratch. Like the first pages that it will give someone. So I want to do that now. And click, right. I come here. This is Windows 11 sharp, which is similar to Windows 10 if you're using. So Photoshop. So I have Photoshop. I have clicked on Photoshop. The one I sent you people is 2022, right? The one you people have is 2022.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
It's a bit different. And just minor differences. So
Mine is 20%.
2019. Oh, okay. So the all of this is because I've worked on. These are my things I've worked on before now, right? But the most important thing is that you need to click this create new. But however, this open is, for instance, if I want to continue working with the files that I've been. For instance, I'm working. I have TCM Maryland project, right? Maryland. I have. Okay, this is a TCM. This is my folder for TCM. Why is my system slow? I think it's because I'm recording and doing this. So this is folder for TCM, TCM Maryland. Now I normally have a folder called PSD. So two way, if I want to continue, let's say pastor say, we want this is for the 2 year celebration, right? We want what possibility now? Oh, we want to join us for prayers, right? Join us for prayer. So it's that I come here, since I continue working, I started working on it before. I come here, I click on it, right? If I click there, it will open. Or since I'm here now, if I do this open, it will prompt me. If I click this open now, it will prompt me to to locate the particular file that I want to open. So I can come here where I can start to navigate to the page now. That is CML. Okay, this is it. I have to click here, look for it. It is CML land. Where is it? PSD. Um, okay, let's say it's our 2 years celebration Guinea that we have. So this is one way to go about it, right? So this opens that is what that function does. That's to open. That's what that does. But if I didn't want to go that way, the other if I click on create, where is it? I just clicked on is a new. I just click on Control N. I clicked on Control N. That was what it brought. But the way to also navigate it here is this: come to File and click Control N, Control New. So if I click on that Create New, this is the page it will bring me to this page now. If I click on the Create New option, then it will bring me to this page. And I've said that the major thing you need to know here is that there is artboard is usually preferable before it's usually preferable to click on artboard. Maybe I'll demonstrate, but I think I've demonstrated one of the reasons why. But it's usually preferable to click on artboard because once you are working, gives different panels for you to work on, even on that one project. So then the other dimension thing is that for now, the safest spot to use for once so far, right, as you said, these are lesson we are focusing on poster design, right? And once you're creating a poster design and you are sending it through social media and you want to send it across all social media, the safest spot to be on is called 1:1 ratio. That's 1080. This 1980 by 1080 is normal full HD. That's a high full HD on video. Yeah, but to have what's it called? Yeah, to now be on the safest side is to use this just use this dimension called 1080 1080 yes 1080 by 1080. You will see it has moved from this landscape to here. So it's now portrait, but it's not so much of portrait, but it's square. It's more of a square, actually. It's more of a square. So you click create. Every other thing in here, just leave them as default. Every other thing here, just leave them as default. You click create. You know what? I want to bring my windows to the workspace to, okay, this is the essential. Okay, let me do reset to essential. This I'm resetting it to like if you have to start Photoshop, how your this thing would look like, regularly look like. So this is it, just taking us back. Then you know that before you start to work, right, there must be a reason why there must actually be a reason why there must be a reason why you are working, right? Either a script or a what's it called or a brief, right? But in our own brief here is coming from where is it taken now? It's coming from a content calendar, which is here, right? So I have my content calendar here. So why do you need to hire a VA? That was what we treated the last time. So it's a matter of me coming here now. This is what let's just say this is just what we want to design now. Why I want to hire a VA, right? This is major thing we want to design now. So the major thing I normally do is I come here, copy this. But right here, yes, there are many. For instance, normally my creative way, right, which we will discuss after, I think in our class 4, we discuss the other ways. But right now, we just want to focus on titles. Yes, let's just focus on titles. There are many, many, many things, other things that I would have put into consideration. That I wouldn't, I'll probably go start looking for image first and also look for templates. Yes, yes. Also look for templates to work with. Possibly look for templates. If I were to start, if I were to be you, yeah, if I were you that you are just starting, yes, I will look for template. But it's just that me over time now, right? What I'm to design, right? I've especially if I'm designing for church, right? Used I've done it over and over and over and over. So there are like inbuilt templates in my head already that I will just go, right? So to a large extent now, I'm focusing on titles, so that's why I'll just do on this. But later in class 4, right? In our next class, because today's class, major thing we're meant to do today is how to import images, cut images, and yes, and cut images before we now go into bringing the title together and everything. But now we just want to focus on title. So how to do that? I just copy this, right? I do Control C, then come back to Photoshop and bring out my text to here, and click on this, click on the artboard here. Then I do what? Control V on it. So I've pasted this. So you can see this is way too big. So one way to scale it down is that I come here and scale it down, and just yes, and do that and scale it down. So that's one way to do that. But the other way to do that, another way to do that is to come to character, which I'm looking for now. Yes, come here. Where? Okay, this is a property panel. Okay, yeah, this is a property panel. Yeah, come to this property panel. This property panel, the way it works that any object you select, based on the object you select, it will give you the option to edit them. Based on the, if I were to bring image, the option here will be different. Or if I were to have any other, the option here will be different. You know what? Let me just quickly demonstrate what I mean by that. Like, let's say I have a rectangle here. You will
Sorry,
see.
let me interrupt you.
Yeah.
So this is where I've been stopped. Like,
Okay.
copy that text. And when I select that field, the text something,
Yes.
it's not just, I don't know. I guess I'm doing something wrong, but my text does not appear on that white canvas, no matter how I try.
Okay. Now let's say I click. This is the process, right? I click on my T, right? My text too.
Yeah.
I click on it. I bring it here, right? You can see the mouse has.
You drag it.
Is that?
You drag it. When you click on it, you drag.
No, I just click and leave. Like I've clicked and leave it, right? It's momentarily writes that it will bring this lorem in Pigeon, right? Momentarily, that's what it will bring out. So I just click. Let me do that again. Let me demonstrate that again. So I come here, click this, click, and I leave it first. Like I leave it first before I now do Control V. Do you understand? Okay, yeah, yes, Dami. Let's say.
Concerning what you just said now,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's the color of the text is using. You know, if the color is because I experienced it. When the color of my text was the same with the background, it
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
appearing. So I would think it wasn't like the text. I changed the color and I saw it.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you need to check that. If your color is white, that could probably be the reason. I see. See why it's need to have a group class. See now, you can't. You might be thinking that this thing is not there. Let's say I have this now, and I control V. You may just be thinking it's not there. Whereas you can find it, this is the layer panel here, right? Whereas you can find it, let's delete this one, this rectangle. Whereas you can find them here. So if yeah, maybe that could be the reason, though. Abi, what do you think?
Daddy, thank you so much. I just realized that
Mm.
it's not even the color, it's the font. So my Photoshop is on, I think, from 0%.
Oh, font
So
size.
it is there, but it's not visible.
Okay, so you need to. So all of you, yeah, yes. The other thing I was just quickly explaining about property panel. Property panel allows you to change things, but if you want to work fully on text, if you want to have full functionality on your text while working on it, if you want to edit it, you need to come here, come to Windows, make sure you have the character panel open. Here, click this, so you can see like has added this. So you can so somewhere I think what you mean by that is that here when we come here, your Photoshop, the size of your font is either maybe two. Let's say two, right? So you can see how tiny it is. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yes, that was exactly what I did.
Okay. So it's a matter of you increasing it. So yes, this is another way to increase the size to like you come here, increase it by the point size. It's called point size of the yes, you can see. Yes. So the other thing we talked about in the class was yes, why we start okay, let me delete this. Mind you, these are here, whatever we have here, right? It also reflects here in this layer. This is the layer panel here. It also reflects here in this layer panel. So the next thing we talked about is right. This particular class is actually titled "Effective Writing Effective Types." Right now, the major important technique to writing, having effective and communicative title, is knowing what contrast is. Having the back of your mind what contrast. That means that means things shouldn't, for instance, now everything we have here, why do I need to hire AVA? They are in the same scale level, they are in the same color, they are in the same width, right? In terms of what do I mean by width? You have this, you have once where every good font, right? Every good font, right? Once you have every good font, you should be able to have various font weight. So it's a medium. So we have Montserrat's medium, right? Everything are just in the same. Everything are just same. It's just monotonous. So, but we need to break away from our text being monotonous. Yeah, what comes to mind? Yes, is this one I worked on the last time? Our prayer meeting in while I was working on that. Where is it? You can see, for instance, um, yeah, I also showed us some samples of what do I mean by that. Now, for some of you, this may be repetitive, but it's good. The more you hear it, at least the more it sticks to you. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, yes. So we have okay. Let's see now. This is this title, right? All of this came out as WhatsApp message from pastor. Don't sleep in this house, right? The message that is don't sleep in this house as one, right? But it took the principle of me understanding. Oh, everything cannot just be on the same pedestal. Everything can just be monotonous, right? So you have here. This is the medium. I'm tempted to open. Okay, let me open this so I will review it together, right? Um, so I will review it. So you actually see what I'm talking of. So I will just be. So the bottom line is that um, contrast. There should be contrast. Now I want to quickly open this up for us to see. for us to see how that was affected. Mm, yes. So I believe everything is one. There's a difference between fonts. There's a difference between yes typeface. Everything are all one typeface. It's called Sarah Pro. As you can see, can you all see that? Can you see the Sarah Pro here?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Sarah Pro. But you can see this one now is a medium, right? This don't sleep. You can see it here. It's a medium, right? As different from yes, this should also be a medium, but this should probably is a medium. But however, the size level is different from this one, right? It's different from this one. Then house should be in black. I think it's the biggest of all. You can see it's in the black. That's the biggest of all the distance. So so that's contrast in place here. So on that contrast, you can find the contrast in color, right? Well, use of shape rather, use of shape to like to create more emphasis on something. Like we use because if I remove this shape to a large extent, if I remove this shape, I'm making it invisible now. If I remove this shape, that in this might it might be lost. Like it may all this other text might just swallow it up. So that's why many times sometimes this works, sometimes this works. But many times we tend to put this there, or we tend to put not just me, but many designers tend to we tend to put this there so that this all this other one won't still swallow it up. Since because we've scaled it down very much. So so back to this. So that means, for instance, some things need to be emphasis needs to be more on some word here, some words or word here more than the other. For instance, in this one, right, house was the major thing here. Like when we say house, okay, and the major thing. Then don't sleep is the second two. Don't sleep is the second two most important in house. So with that in place, where I normally just do a Control C, Control V, right? Duplicate or I do Alt drag. Okay, now let me demonstrate all of that. Control C, Control V for this, right? Then I do Alt drag. I've done Alt drag for this. Yeah, so but before I do all of this, I should have in my mind, right? I should have said, okay, where, how much do I need to break? What's the most important word, right? What's the most important word in all of this? Ihan, what do you think is the most important word that, or maybe phrase in this, that you feel that, oh, once someone looks at it, that's the first thing they need to see. Hello, Ihan, are you in this a sentence? I think it's a sentence, right? In this sentence, right? What's like a most important word or phrase you feel like okay once someone sees it, those are the most important things that should be bold enough for them to see. Higher AVA, right? Okay. So that means we should have emphasis on that in terms of either the scale level, either the color, or putting it on a what's it called inside the shape layer, right? Using the shape just as I showed us here, right? Putting all as you can find it. Like here, I wanted to lay emphasis on Genesis cinema, right? So I used the red okay, to do that. So either that. So that being the case, that was why they will not need to duplicate. Well, for me, my own process, I usually duplicate the text, right? You need to duplicate this. Then I need to double click on this. I just done double clicking on that, right? Then delete this. Okay, no, I need to leave that one, right? Delete. higher AVA you said, right? Okay, let's say delete this higher AVA and leave this one. Then if that's the case, for instance, what comes to my mind now to now make this one and to have higher AVA much emphatic. I can come here now and make it black or bold because it's on medium now. I can come here and make it bold. Since it's on medium, no need of going semi medium. Go either bold or even black. So I make it bold here. Another thing I normally do is that I scale it much up, right? I scale it up so that it will now act as if it's carrying these other ones. So so in a nutshell, this is without bringing up many other things. So in a nutshell, that's like a summary of what we've been doing before now. Hope that is direct enough. And do you have any other? Because to allow you, if I continue with this now, we'll just go. There are many other things to like lay emphasis on. You can get the recording for the other time, and also the materials for that other class. I think the last two classes or last class. Are we following?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm looking at even if it's just a quick touch in what today's class is meant to be. Let's just quickly touch that. Then further into this, right? I think what will work is that I will watch you guys do the assignment again. But Paula, let me even see. Let me get to even see your own assignment. Well, I think what will work is that
Is there? I've just
okay,
dropped it.
okay, yeah, I'll check. What will work is that um, the on Sunday, right? I watch you guys like do the assignment again. So, but that means two assignments, and there is one now from this class now, right? There's one from this class and the previous one. So I watch you guys like do the assignment. Let me watch you. If you have any challenge, right? Just call me or run me through your process. How did you do it? Or is there any challenge you have? Huh?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Are we good?
Very good.
Okay, okay. The next today's this emphasis or today's class is meant to just focus on image, like making use of image, like and the very initial place that prompts because I can't just come and start using any image, right? The major thing that prompts the image to use is either the information that is being given for it. So for instance, like this one that how this was given to right was should be pastor just texted don't sleep in this house as a title, right? So from there you'll be able to like deduce what kind of image you want to use. So yeah, so that's one way. The other way is that you have a proper calendar, a proper where is it here? A proper content calendar that like we have here. So we have why do you need a VA? Who can tell me what's like the major imagery that comes to mind? What do you think is a search term that we should? What are we looking out for? Hello, hello, Damien. I thought you were about to say something.
No, I was thinking. I was thinking. I think the image should be informed by the V.
VA, right? Okay, that's
Yes.
virtual. Hope you know that's virtual assistant, right? Because if you watch it, if you read
Yes.
it, virtual assistant. So majorly, right? Okay. There are two ways. Many times I tend to just go to shorter stock because I have there's a shorter stock list there. But for many of you, I doubt if you have that. But majorly, that's where I go to um, shorter stock. So I come to shorter story and just type, just type virtual assistant, right? Virtual assistant. So there are couple of couple of them, and many times because we are in Africa, right? We tend to favor. It makes more sense for us to have black model in our rather than having white person, black model. Mm, So far, okay, I think this does it for me. So you can see what do they call shutter stock. They tend to have very good, but many times you may not have paid for. Stop saying my, you might have not paid for this, so you just need to just go to Google and type virtual, right? Virtual assistant. So you go to images here and look for, but these are usually what's that? Yeah, so sometimes I can get a very good one there too. So the other site like this site pieces.com, right? That you can also get. So these are yes, like for this shorter stock is based on subscription. You need to pay to have, but this pixel pay and some other ones like that they are free. So like once you are here, this is pixelpay.com. You can type virtual virtual assistant. So you can see one of that challenge that I was talking of where okay, you can see most of the model here, the model here is looking they are all white, whereas our major audience they are black. So it doesn't make any sense for us now be putting white person there. But I think I've seen a black woman here. So this is one. Oh yeah, I think I like this one. Yeah, so this is one other way to go about it. Then another very good site I normally go to for things like this is called Free Pick. Just come here, Free Pick. Freepick.com. We'll talk more about this on because this is a very good site for you to go to get layouts that you use, Photoshop layouts that you can use to work from, rather than having to build from scratch. Because from your early age, one of the biggest challenges you'll be having is that composition challenge. But once you are here, you can download. But right now, we're just looking for images alone. So you can type virtual assistant. I heard these are very good. These are very good. I like this one the most, but it's just that we need to pay. Okay, I like. But this is how I normally work. You can see I'm a bit what's it called indecisive, but this is how I shall go on up until I now finally pick one that I like. But also, mind you, another thing I also consider too in this process too is the brand, color, and all of that. For instance, you can see this as opposed to this that is having yellow. If it's our same Maryland, I think this is really good, right? Because we have our yellow here, and also this is our pink kind of color here that is also here. So that's another thing to consider. So let's say I taking this now, I like this one now. So it's a matter of I come in here, click on download. click on this download, it comes here, it gives me this. So it opens this up. So it's a matter of me drag and drop it. So I come back to my to here. Here it is. So it's a matter of me drag and dropping. So this is one way to bring images, just drag and drop. Right. So many times I tend to just hit enter first. I make it enter first, then I scale it down. See, scaling it down, just click. I click and drag at the edge. Just click and drag at the edge. Click and drag at the edge to bring it in. So there are. Hmm, so let me try to get it. Making use of your image many times, right? Okay, let me start with. Let me start with if I didn't need to cut it out because I wanted to also go into cutting out and all of that. But imagine if I don't need to cut it out. What I'm about to explain to you, this is it here. Let me show you. This is a very typical what's it called? Demonstration for what's the idea of what I wanted to explain to you. You can see how this image is working here. There is a blend between the image itself and the background. Let me make this. Yeah, there is a blend between. Okay, I think what works are just for now, just do one and let you guys try it out yourself. Then later we'll continue. Because I wanted to do both cutting it out and also applying what's called mask. It's what is called mask. Well, we'll just focus on mask for now. If you check, if you check this right, we see. Okay, you know what? Let me remove. Let me remove. This is what it's called. Let me disable the layer mask. If I remove it, you can see there is a hard edge here right now. As I remove that layer mask, there's a hard edge. Once I enable it, there's a fading that comes from here to here. So that's one way to bring your image in. Do I use another method to bring your image in and use your image is that you have them wrapped up. You have them wrapped up in a what's it called? Use a shape layer to like wrap them up so that there's that. Yeah, I don't know if you remember. There was a time we were going through this, and I told you guys. Where is it? Coming. Yeah, the examples of the unsuccessful image, right? And we identified that one of the one of the common mistakes of of the unsuccessful images of like having to make use of images that you just find a hard edge, right? Like for instance, like you have a hard edge here. There are two ways we could have done this. Is that put this beautiful girl now, put her in a what's it called? Use a frame. Yes, use a shape layer to like frame her. Then it will be much more presentable. You know what? You know the idea of frame is that they makes an idea presentable. They make an image presentable. Even in real life, once you frame an image, rather than just sellotaping it on a wall, once you frame it, it makes it much more. It's the same image, but because it was framed, it makes it much more presentable. So that's one way. Or they make it fade. There's that transition between the image itself and the background, the blend transit. So in a broader spectrum, that's like the major idea too. That's the major idea. Then how do we implement this? I just showed you like a practical, application of the ideas, of these ideas. I'm looking at, is there any other one I used? So these are other practical application of it. So you can see we went from there's a going from the background into this imagery, right? But it's gradual. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not a hard transition. So the way to achieve that, let's say, okay, let's say in our composition, I want this lady to be up here and our title down. Here. Let's just focus on that one for now. We want her here, right? And let's bring let's bring our title. What do I do? How did I do this? I clicked on this empty. So I clicked select multiple of them like this. So I'm bringing them down. Let's say this is how our composition look like. So all I need to do now. So the way to go about it, the way to achieve this that fade transition is what is called layer mask. And to enable a layer mask, you come here. Once you are here, you find this box thing here. This is the layer mask icon. Once you have your image selected, you have your image selected, and you click on this, it creates a layer mask, but you won't find anything yet. You won't find anything yet up until you won't find anything yet up until you come here. Normally, I use the gradient tool. Up until I come to the gradient tool. This is the gradient tool. I'm clicking here. I'm using this gradient tool. So my gradient tool is selected, right? And I come here. I click and drag up. You can see I'm dragging up like this and release. Hope you people are following. Hope that is not too much. Did you follow? Let me Ctrl Z on that. I come here, click, and release. So you can see the transition is milder rather than that hard edge. So that's one way to go about this. So that's one way to go about it. So another I wanted to start asking, having the question, and if like for you guys to, if you guys follow and all of that. But I just realized I think I should just run everything. Then later you get the video, and also there are other recordings. I've done this and other recordings to make available. So the other method is I want to duplicate this. Control J. I want to duplicate this. Delete the layer mask on this one. I right click on it, and then delete the layer mask. Another way to go about it is using a shape layer. That's framing it, putting it inside the shape layer. So I can come here, click on this. Let's say, let me use a circle. Use this circle. So I'm creating this by click and dragging because first I've clicked on the rectangle, this ellipse tool, right? So all I did was click and drag. Let me do that again. So I'm here, I'm on the ellipse tool or any of that tool. I click and drag, and I'm holding Shift to make it a perfect square. Shift and Alt to also send Shift and Alt. I'm holding Shift and Alt to continuously do this now. So once I have this, so I want to use this as a frame to frame this lady. So the way to do that, you can see my layer here. So I bring her up here. And once I have her up here, there is this. There is like on the very line that differentiates this woman, like the woman's image, and this ellipse tool. That middle line, once I'm in the middle line there, and I hold Alt, you can see my mouse changes. from this hand, the mouse changes from my hand to this icon here. And once I click on it, the woman now is woman, right, is being cut out by this ellipse tool. So she can only be seen within the two. Hope we understood what I just did. Let me do it again. Let me do it again. Let me do Control Z on that. Control Z. So all I needed to do, okay. So far, I'm focusing on these two. I'm focusing on this ellipse layer and on this woman layer, right? I'm focusing on the two of them. Just in between both of them, I put my mouse in between both of them and I hold Alt. I click on Alt. Once I click on, once I hold Alt rather, once I hold Alt rather, the mouse changes to this. Then I click on it, then it brings this out. Hope hope you understand what I just said. Do you understand what I just said? I think what will happen is that I will make this recording available, and there are other materials, right? So, and there is the assignment for what I do. What I just said to you, and there's an assignment for you need to do this now. These two things I just explained to you now for two of those other ones that the first assignment you are meant to do, you are meant to create two titles, right? From that two title, find the appropriate image, right? And repeat the same process that I did. Repeat the same process. This process of your image, having your image using the what's it called, layer mask, and using shape to cut the images. I hope we'll be able to do that. Hello.
I hope so too.
Okay.
Something like that. God bless us.
Okay, but try your hand on it before the Sunday. I will be glad if you can even submit before but I'm expecting it by Saturday. Before Saturday, I'm expecting your this thing. Oh, there's a Saturday before the Sunday. What am I going to? Okay, maybe we'll repeat this. Maybe this. Okay, I'll go more into cutting. Okay, maybe just go more into cutting images and making use of them in Photoshop. We'll just go. But now this is the assignment now. But hope you understand the assignment. First of all, you don't understand the assignment I just given.
Yes. Yes, I'm.
Okay. Here in Alpha, do you understand the assignment?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So I'll be expecting that by Saturday, right? Then when we now come out for our physical class, so me, I will not be a student. You guys will not teach me how that time when you submit your assignments, when we submit your math, when you've gone to the answer this thing at the back to copy the answer and submit to the teacher. The teacher will say, okay, show me how did you achieve this, right? Hopefully that's what you will not teach me how to achieve all your assignments, how you did your assignment. Okay, that will be that for now. I will make this recording available. At least you can skip through to this major parts here, how I did all of this. I think it's not anything complex. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I've also learned to take it gradual, right? You can see today it's just these two things now that at least how to just this image now, just this image, that's what we did today. Hopefully you take it from there and be able to practice with that. Okay then. Thank you all guys for coming.
Thank you.